I was having a conversation today, and it made me so angry. And I was having a conversation with quite centrist, quite liberal people, and they were basically saying they were taking a position of not commenting on Kill the Bill, not promoting it. An organisation, we're not going to promote or not going to endorse Kill the Bill because it's not their fight. That's exactly what it says. It's not our fight, and we can't fight everything. Is this everyone's fight? Can someone just tell me, is this everybody's fight? Yes! This is everybody's fight. This isn't just the black community's fight. This isn't just the gypsy, Roma, travelling community's fight. This is everybody's fight. Because if they come for our freedoms, if they try to silence our voices today, then they're going to do it to you tomorrow. So I will not hear that argument from anybody. From anybody. I am not here to hear that today. As Tracy said, if they come for me today, they are coming for you tomorrow. So this is everybody's time to stand up and use your voice. Another argument that I'm not going to hear is it's a lockdown and you shouldn't be on the street. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is Priti Patel coming for my rights during the lockdown? Is she abusing a pandemic to take away my voice, to take away our freedoms? Is she abusing this pandemic? Yes, she is. So when you take away our freedoms, when you sidestep democracy, and when you push us towards a police state, you put us on the streets. Because if we wait until this lockdown is over, we will not have a voice to fight this. So do not tell me that lockdown isn't the time to be on the streets, because if you are coming for me during the lockdown, then expect to see me on the streets every day of the week, because you are taking away my voice. In this 300-page bill, they've actually redefined protesters as well. I don't know if anyone picked up on that. But they've actually redefined any protester who travels from one city to another is now labelled an extreme activist. And let me tell you what an extreme activist is in the eyes of this government. An extreme activist is the exact same as a terrorist. And if you are an extreme activist, the government have free rein to surveil you, to arrest you, and to put you in a cell. You are in the same category as a terrorist, and you have the same level of human rights as a terrorist, so they can do anything to you. And that is a peaceful activist literally coming to an event like this. So if I travel, say, from one corner to here, just to speak on this mic, I would be called an extreme activist, and that would give the government the right to surveil me, to put me in a cell, and to treat me as if I was a threat to, well, probably a threat to capitalism under this current structure, but a threat to the current order. And it's not right, so we need to be reading the fine print, we need to be writing to our MPs, and as Keir Starmer's been mentioned, you know, this is a man who's consistently and persistently putting himself on the wrong side of history. According to Keir Starmer, BLM was just a moment. There's been a lot of a wrong moment to me. Keir Starmer's the same person, and I mean, an attack on democracy is an attack on democracy, but an attack on Liverpool is another thing. Keir Starmer is the same person who, when the Tories had said that they are bringing in Tory leadership to a city that has been Labour for 20 years, he literally stood aside and went, all right then, that's fine by me. Are we okay with Tories in Liverpool? No! Are we okay with Tories in Liverpool? No! Fuck the Tories! Fuck the Tories! When the Tories said they were going to take over Liverpool City Council, in my eyes, someone asked me about this before, in my eyes that's the equivalent of going to the prison yard and finding the biggest person on the yard and picking a fight with them. They picked a fight with the wrong city. We are a socialist city. We are the only city that kicked the sun out, and we are the only city that has held the boycott of the sun persistently and consistently for more than 30 years. So if they think that they can take this city on, they have got another thing coming. Never underestimate the power of the people, because the only reason they believe they need to stop protest is because of the power of protest. Look at what protest has done for BLM. In America, they're basically civilianising the police realm in Los Angeles. They're saying, you're not good enough to get the job done. They're saying, no, we're not having you with your guns going and dealing with the issues in the black community. That is the power of protest. And in this country, they are terrified of it. So when Black Lives Matter, Extinction Rebellion and all the other organisations that have risen up in the past year have been standing on the streets, they are terrified, because when we stand together, we are a force to be reckoned with. There is a reason that the police have not attempted to lock us up, because there are more of us than them, and they know it. And when there are more of you than them, they have to let you make your voice heard, and that is why they are trying to silence us. They would not attempt it if we weren't a legitimate threat to them. So don't come at me with reports telling me that institutional racism isn't real. Don't tell me that slavery was a good thing for my community, whilst in the same week arresting a police officer for being a Nazi. Don't tell me that. It's gaslighting. We are being gaslit as a city to believe that Tory leadership is the solution to corruption. If the Tories corrupt, can someone just tell me I'm not dreaming? If the Tories corrupt, yes! They are the worst, most corrupt force in this country. They are sleepwalking us into fascism. They are sleepwalking us into a police state, and if they had it their way, we would be completely under the thumb. We are already the third most surveilled country in the world. The third most surveilled country in the world. Person for person, we have the second highest rate of surveillance cameras to China. That is the only country that is worse than us for surveillance. How is that even where we are? Under the Chiz bill that was passed last year with barely any opposition from Labour, under the Chiz bill, police officers, undercover police officers, can now murder and rape with impunity. If they are executing their duties and they are undercover, they commit a murder, they commit a rape, they can break any law, and they will never stand up in a court or face trial. And the government's solution to the Sarah Everard murder, which was allegedly by a police officer, is to put those same undercover officers in nightclubs. Does anyone see the issue with that? Or am I blind here? Does anyone see the issue with putting police officers who've been raped and murdered with impunity into nightclubs undercover and saying, here you go, protect women? This week alone, a police officer has made the news for allegedly raping two other female police officers, and that officer didn't even get sacked from the force. They kept him in the force for 3 years and just compensated the women, just gave him a bit of money and made them continue working with this officer. And it's only off the back of protests, and it's only off the back of actions and direct action on the street that they have now reviewed what they did with this officer 3 years ago and gone, oh, hang on a minute, we might have to conduct this officer. So never let anyone tell you that your voice does not have power. Never let anyone gaslight you into believing that when we stand together and when we make our voices heard, we don't shake them up. Because that is what's happening right now. The government is shook. The police are shook. Because we have eyes and we can see that what we are living in is no longer a democracy. We can see that we're heading towards fascism, and now is the time. There will literally never be another time like this in our lives. And in 20 years, I guarantee you, we will all be looking at our grandchildren and they will say, what did you do in that moment? So every single person who turns up today, well done. Because in this moment, you are standing and you are resisting and you are saying no. So I'll leave it there, but let's just shout kill the bill to let our voices be heard. Kill the bill! 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 No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Whose streets? Our streets! Whose streets? Our streets! This is what democracy looks like! 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 Thank you guys, if anyone wants to speak now.